Hi there, it's Lowell Alberts from the province. This is the video edition of the fifth quarter, Friday night, on a night when the BC Lions were embarrassed 37 to 10 by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at BC Place Stadium, just over 27,000 fans at the last game before the break. A game which obviously the Lions decided to take the break early. No question about it. I don't think there's um, any way to sugarcoat a performance as bad as that one. It was really a game that was just baffling in so many ways. I mean, I think the game that the Lions lost to Calgary, 48 to 10, was a game you might see because you have a good quarterback in Henry Burris, completing passes against the Lions secondary. That you can see a game like that, but you just cannot see, and there really is no excuse for a game in which the Lions give up 393 yards along the ground, 260 of which on 26 carries go to Fred Reed, a 185-pound back, not a bulldozer by any stretch of the imagination. He was awesome. Third best rushing game in the history of the Canadian Football League. Fred Reed called out the Montreal linebackers a couple of weeks ago. Looks like he called out the wrong team. Said that the Montreal linebackers were okay. Not sure what he would have thought about the performance of the BC linebackers because clearly did not perform in any way, shape, or form. The Lions were kind of put behind the eight ball before the game. Jeremy Gibbs, their starting defensive tackle, came up with an eye infection. It's been bothering him ever since Tuesday, but he didn't really think he could go. The decision was only made Friday morning. So Jonathan Williams, a rookie tackle, played his first game. And I'm sure people will point to that change in the defensive front seven as being a big one. I don't think it had any effect on it whatsoever, other than the fact that maybe the Lion rotations in the defensive line might have been affected by it. But clearly, when you give up that many yards, it's a team effort, if that's the right way to say it. It's truly a remarkable performance by Fred Reed. In a game in which Michael Bishop, a guy who can get hot at times, was outperformed by Jarius Jackson, at least statistically. Jackson 185 yards passing, Bishop 131, excuse me. So certainly wasn't a case of the passing game setting up the run. The run basically set up the run for Winnipeg. They kept running, and when they had success, they did it some more and did it again until the Lions basically, mercifully, had the game come to an end. Didn't appear to be any major injuries. The hit that Jarius Jackson took in the fourth quarter did not seem to affect him greatly. He was up talking lucid after the game. Didn't seem like it had an effect. But interesting, again, another hit to the back of the head of a BC quarterback. And you just have to wonder what goes on in the minds of the coaching staff when they see things like that. So, again, the Lions had no answer for the Winnipeg running game. You have to ask yourself whether or not there's no other way. Is execution or scheme? Certainly, it has to be parts of each. Certainly, the Lion players did not execute the scheme, but there were no adjustments made from first half to second half, even after the Winnipeg Blue Bombers had established a run in the first half. That was very interesting to watch because I didn't think the Lions made any adjustments whatsoever. The Bombers kept running, and the Lions did not stopping it. So again, 37 to 10. The Lions now 1-3 at home. Not a very flattering record. As I said, they get a break now. Wally Bono canceled the through after the game. There was to be a practice on Saturday. There will not be. He's going to give the club an entire week off now. You wonder if they deserve it, but that's the way Wally works things, and it's always, I think, it's something that is probably appreciated by the players. Well, interesting to see what kind of team this is in terms of its makeup with NFL cuts starting to come. Lions don't have any room on the practice roster other than to delete players that are already there. But surely to goodness, you have to think that the Lions are going to have to look at making some changes going into the second half of the season, starting with 2 games against the Montreal Alouettes, now 7-1 on the year. That next game is 2 weeks from tonight on August the 4th at BC Place Stadium. We'll take a couple of days off here, try and blog if there is something to blog in the next little while. But otherwise, we're going to shut it down just like the Lions did tonight. 37 to 10, the final score from BC Place. That's the fifth quarter.